Hey YouTube, coming at you with a Great League team from earlier in the season, from Jason, who wrote, I know a Hundo Detective Raichu seems a bit of a joke, but it's actually a nice core breaker, paired with Blastoise, which has always felt a bit weird to me up until now, and starting to like it though, and Altaria, who has been nice bulk. All three mons cover each other pretty well. Main problem of the team are grass types, but there aren't a lot in the meta, so I got away with it. Also, don't question this pure matchup. I have no idea what I was doing either. Okay, got it. So Altaria and Blastoise, you got bulk in the back. Um, you're gonna have Raichu's gonna be weak to ground, so Altaria will do that, and so with Blastoise. Blastoise can be acted as a good safe swap. Altaria now with the flamethrower cover move is much better. So in theory, it works. It is a Hundo Raichu costume Pokemon. Costumes don't matter. So stats wise, typing wise alone, probably not good. Moveset, not bad actually, right? You have Thundershock, which charges fast. You have Wild Charge, which is a nuke, and probably on a higher attack Pokemon is going to hit pretty hard. And then you have Trailblaze for coverage for your like Mud Boys and stuff that will otherwise resist the Wild Charge. So I think it actually does have a lot of coverage. And you got two enough bulk Pokemon in the back that you can just kind of like shield up everything on the front end here. So let's take a look and see how it plays again earlier in the season. There's your Mud Boy. Let's see what you want to do. Going to stay in, maybe trying to catch them off guard. Only 10 to a Trailblaze, right? So this is double super effective. They may not expect it. They do not expect it, so that does not quite one-shot, non-stab there, despite being double super effective. Whiscash is like the bulkier of all the Mud Boys. So they come in with Dunsparce, and just going straight Wild Charge here, knowing that the rollout isn't really a threat, and Drill Run's going to one-shot anyways. Going into Blastoise, you could, or you could just stay in. Again, yes, you lowered your defense times 2, but rollout isn't really going to put a ton of pressure on you. You could have maybe like forced them to throw, but this is okay. Getting to energy here. They do go 2 drill runs, have 2 hydros here. You both have rollout, so there's no real fast move timing here. So it's just throw when you think you can. Now it'd be good. Just yep, or else they're gonna get to a move. So this will not take out, but will chip. And if they try to for the aggressive roll out down, it would not work. They catch on in the zoom roll. Which is fine. They give up switch and have no shield. So this is, an instant swap. I think an instant wild charge too, or like a little extra farm wild charge sort of thing. This will, I assume, one shot. I'd be very, very surprised if it doesn't. And now they have a Dunsparce, but that is okay. Oh, they have the Whiscash still too. Getting to the Trailblaze, they were hoping to mud shot down. Living with 1 HP, which is nice. You do get to move. I just Dragon Breath Altaria, shield up 1, and go from there with ease. Altaria has the bulk. Unfortunately, as you can see, there was a. Oh, maybe it's not in this one, so maybe I can bring it back. Okay, I'll lower the so you can see the typings. There was just a fail to find location, so it was not showing up what they were, like the typings and stuff, but now you can see them. Okay, but either way, we have an avalugg with avalanche. Here comes, you have 2 wild charges, so not a bad play, just getting up there, so you can just go double wild charge. Going back to back here. Snipe with the rollout, just knowing that Blastoise is bulky enough and water that you could take a move if they try to throw just while they were going down. Gastrodon is not bad. Let's see if it has water pulse. It's like a pretty decent matchup, even though the mud slaps do add up here. I'm trying to get the battles here. Getting to the Hydro Cannon. Body Slam will take out here. I don't think it's worth shielding. I think you could just kind of run with Altaria, but opting to shield to save that Hydro Cannon maybe for later. It is a Corsola in the back. So Sky Attack here. I assume 2 will take out. Corsola is pretty bulky though. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to take out. And they will have a Power Gem, but I think you'll have a Power Gem as well. And getting to the last Sky Attack here. Again, probably will not take him out. Do you have the hydro cannon loaded on the blastoise from earlier? Well, you know what? That was almost a full out dragon breath down. Switching in and kind of forcing them to throw here. Come back in. Well, you could just come roll out too and have a hydro that you should be throwing blind here. And that hydro will land on the gastrodon and take it out. So banking that hydro from earlier did work out well. Azumarill, okay, fantastic lead. They should get out of this. And they do into a wheezing. This seems like a wild charge and bail type situation. Yeah, it could be brutal swing, but I'm not worried about a brutal swing. Well, that does quite a lot. I guess I shouldn't be super surprised because Raichu is, I'm guessing, more on the glassy side. Grab one shield. You know, Sludge will chip. Blastoise is bulky enough. Now, the thing is, I don't think one Hydro takes out, and there's a question whether you should just go Skull Bash here. Because Skull Bash will boost your defense, and maybe, like, if it doesn't take him out, put him within 1 HP, but I don't think a Hydro takes him out. So you're going to have to dump 2. And you kind of recognize that. I think good heads-up recognition that may be the play. They do catch on an Azumarill, which, again, not the worst-case scenario at all. This is one where I was going to say you may want to, like, shield a move and bank this energy. Instead, throwing on CMP to chip them a bit to maybe get them in Thundershock range. But these bubbles are going to add up too. Yeah, you're going to probably just Trailblaze this, or you're going to go for the full aggressive down. Full aggressive down, start wild charging blind, essentially. I know you shouldn't do blind unless it's like a ground. That's why you don't go blind. That's the exact reason you do not go blind. It is a stunfisk, so wild charge would have been very resisted on the ground, and Trailblaze is neutral here. So able to chip a ton. That's great. Rock Slide is super effective, but yeah, more carrying. But I mean, it's probably just a sludge, but like a sludge is gonna hurt. Yeah, it's just a brutal swing. Yeah, this is kind of tough. Rock Slides, it's gonna take at least, I'd say 3, but not after these Fairy Winds. After these Fairy Winds, it'll just be 2. Again, shielding up another brutal swing. Just worried about that play rough maybe. Most are running sludge brutal swing, so could have maybe gotten away with it, but not taking any chances. And tried to make a catch, did not work. And now if they have 2 rock slides, you're going to be taken out here. 1 is not enough for sure. Nope, go with the Sky Attack. And do get the Sky Attack, so that should be enough. Mud Shot's resisted, so they weren't going to Mud Shot you down. Sky Attack is enough from that range to take it out. Raichu into Wiggly. This is a weird one. Because charms are going to add up quick. But you really don't have any choice but to stay because you cannot have the Altaria on this. So you basically need to like Wild Charge and stay in this matchup. And hope you get to do another one, which you do. And they do farm down. That's fine. Grabbing 2 shields here is a pretty good situation. Wow. They don't even burn that second shield. So they didn't burn the second shield, so you got shield advantage. Trying to figure out what the best play is. You know, it's kind of a weird one. Because Rollout and Hydro are neutral. All their moves are neutral. If you came in Altaria, your Dragon Breath would be resisted, but so would their Sand Attack, and then you would have a super effective Flamethrower. But it looks like 2 Hydros is going to be enough to take out. But the chip is going to come here that you may want to shield. And they do go Payback, which means you can probably, I was going to say farm a little more, but that's okay. Here comes the Hydro. They do shield. Maybe have something weak to water in the back. And yeah, I'm going to bank that move just to see that, like, if you're shielding up a Corviknight at this health, what do you have in the back here? They do get the boost. I don't think it matters. And yes, they do have something weak to water in the back, a Carbink. Unfortunately for Altaria, Carbink just walls every single move. So yeah, you should be burning the switch clock, spamming as much as you can to try and put it within like 1 Hydro, even though all these moves are resisted. They do get a move off. You have to shield this. You have to get a Hydro off here. It's not going to be enough to take out because Carbink's just that bulky, but should put them within a move range, which is fine here. You're going to get hit. I think you can Dragon Breath down and get to a Sky Attack to take it out. The attack boost, that's fine as long as they don't get to another move. And then Sky Attack should be enough from this range. And if it is, that's exactly what you need to do for a well-played win. Yep. Raichu versus dedenne. Well, okay, this could be interesting. You know, what are they going to do? What are you going to do? Going for the Trailblaze, it is neutral. Parabolic Charge, which they are going for, will be resisted. I mean, Trailblaze does do 50%. That's a lot on the dedenne. This thing must be very attack heavy, and I'm guessing it's going to do 50% back. Yeah, okay, not surprising that you're both very attack heavy. They're attack heavy, that you're attack heavy and less defensive. And with that, you neutralize it out. You're always winning CMP here, so you're going to just win that matchup with ease. Skeledirge comes in. Getting to the Wild Charge. It's one of those things where... yeah, you had two answers for it, but that is a nice hit. I would just come Altaria and just start spamming these Dragon Breaths and Sky Attacks. Hell, even if this was a Surf, I'd probably shield it. Just because I think that Altaria needs to chip this as much as you can. Because Blastoise has no moves. It just has Roller Hydro Cannon, which in itself is fine to chip. But you really want this at like 50% health or less by the time the Blastoise comes in. Opting to instead catch on the Blastoise, knowing that Altaria is your win con. Just going to take that damage. A Hex down would be too aggressive here. And while Hydro Cannon is resisted, it's still Hydro Cannon. So it's going to chip. That, yeah, see, it still does like 25%, which is more than enough to put it within Dragon Breath range. And back into Altaria with the shield advantage. Just committing to the Dragon Breath down after that Hydro Cannon chip. Do shield up a Shadow Ball. Do have two moves, so just going to opt for the two moves instead of the Dragon Breath down. But they're at like 2 HP, so it does not matter too much here. Superior. Okay, this is when you said I don't know what I'm doing here. You could Wild Charge and bail into Altaria. Okay. Honestly, I don't mind this. Like, this is essentially what you have to do. Hit with the Azumarill. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not good, but it is what it is. Ice Beam will, I assume one shot it's double super effective, but maybe not. Bubbles are resisted. Non-stab Ice Beam. Maybe it doesn't take out. If it doesn't, it's going to be pretty close. It is double super effective on the Ice Dragon. You know, maybe you shield this. So what I think your only potential chance there was you had some energy. I would shield that Ice Beam and then get back into Raichu because we saw that the Wild Charge does like 40% to Superior. So you're basically sacrificing Raichu to get back into that matchup, saving the Altaria to come in and essentially wall this, not wall because I have Aerial Ace, but to essentially dominate that thing, and then you could have had Blastoise to figure out deal with whatever's in the back. Now you just get farmed down. Altaria comes in, but is at like 1 HP. Yeah. So I think next time, I like the start of it. I think the Wild Charge and bail into Altaria is correct. I think that you maybe then try to save it if you can. Get back into the Raichu, sacrifice Raichu, align Altaria back on the Superior, and then try and Blastoise whatever in the back. It's a Umbreon in the back, which was gonna be tough no matter what. Just going Wild Charge here. I think that's fine. You have to. I think you're gonna get outpaced, so it doesn't matter. But I think if you were just gonna shield that, I think you go Trailblaze next. to not lower your attack for the second time because they're going to have to shield because they're so low. I don't like totally hate it, but I think you just needed to save the Altaria there. They tried to catch on a Charger Bug, and yeah, your best answer for this Charger Bug is Altaria. You do have the Flamethrower, which is super effective, but Raichu has a pretty bad matchup, and Blastoise is obviously taking super effective, so you have to take that. Flamethrower is super effective, so they do end up shielding. Volt switches are adding up. Discharge won't take you out, but it'll put you pretty low. So yeah, opting to shield that. You might want to watch out for a catch here. Just going Sky Attack. Sky Attack is neutral because it's half bug, half electric. So they do shield, which is fine. At this point, I think you can let it go and just kind of combo with your other two Pokemon. And yeah, I'm going to do that. Now, which Pokemon are you going to combo with is the question. Rollout is super effective, but you're going to have to burn a shield immediately. So that is exactly what you're opting to do. Shielding up the discharge. Talonflame comes back in. Does have a move. You'll live a Brave Bird from a non-shadow and your non-shadow. It is just a fly, so I would... Interesting. Could have taken it out. My worry is that if they have a Talonflame on the front, they have an answer for water in the back. And Gastrodon's not an amazing answer, but with Trailblaze here, definitely going to catch it off guard. Almost one-shots. They do Mud Slap down. Rollout would be resisted, so you have to just dump this energy, unfortunately, because Mud Slap would add up there, and they're very close to Body Slam. But now you got to worry about them getting to move here. Nope, 3-2-3, I think it is on the counts. So they needed 3 Volt Switches, which you just outpace here, and take it out. Raichu into Dunsparce. Yeah, we've seen this. You can play this out. You can throw the Wild Charge early since they have a drill run. Like, I wouldn't want to take a drill run anyways, so I think you probably could have put some pressure on it. So going for the first Wild Charge. They do let it go. You could, yeah. I always say never bait. Like, it's better just to take this out. I feel like maybe this could be a bait one. Okay, it could not have. That's nice. Instant swapping into hakamo-o, which is very tough for Blastoise with no moves. They do go Brick Break, which is fine. Not a ton there. You're going to boost your defense right back up anyways. At this point, you're just sacrificing this, hoping to chip here. Honestly, we take that chip. Let everything else go. Just throw Hydro to basically take it out, or 1 HP it away. Probably take out. It's in the red and it's a Hakamo. And they do let it go. What's in the back? A Como. It will have clanging scales, but if it throws that, then it's going to lower its defense or attack. So I feel like it's going to go just the other. What's it? Defense? Yeah, the defense falls there. They're just hoping that it does not matter, that they can just take you out and then deal with the Raichu, which is resisted. It's not a bad strategy. But the Dragon Breath really adding up there. I think if you're going to throw those clanging scales to try to take you out, I think you have to like almost get to 2 moves before you throw the first one. And do make a catch on the Blastoise. It is just an upper hand. I would throw Trailblaze, yeah. Usually with one shield left, you never throw, but when your Thundershock is resisted and this boosts your Thundershock, I think you have to throw it. And with that, take it out. Yep, that's smart. Okay, a couple more battles here, I think. Azumarill, good lead. They're going to get out into something. That something is a Altaria. So just going to go Wild Charge and bail. If it lands Altaria, if it doesn't land Altaria, I think. Yeah, it does land. That's fine. You can live a Sky Attack, which you may just want to let this go. There's no point of shielding if they're then just going to come Azumarill anyways. And do take it down. The good news is they cannot bubble you down because you are a dragon, which is resisted, and they're in low attack and you're high defense. So there's no chance they can bubble down here, which means they are going to have to throw a move, or else you're going to get to like 4 Sky Attacks. So here comes the second Sky Attack. They may get to like 8 or 9 energy before throwing this. Probably going to throw it before the next one here. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Knowing they can come out with a little bit of energy, actually a lot of energy, maybe even throw one more bubble and then a move here. Yeah, so they're going to, I think it's worth shielding too. You got a bulkier blastoise in the back. It is just a nice beam. What's in the back? Registeel. Double wild charge and then bail and sacrifice blastoise, essentially. There's one. Here's a second one. And I think then you just sacrifice blastoise. Yeah. So here comes the blastoise. Zap cannon will, if it has zap cannon, which I'm assuming it will be super effective. I don't think it one-shots. Very close. And able to get to the hydro cannon, which may be very helpful. Maybe puts it in 1 wild charge range instead of 2. Oh yeah, for sure. Taking it to 50%. So that is huge. I think you just shield up this first move. You know, this thing threw it pretty fast, so you can't overfarm a ton, or else they're going to get to another move. So you got to, and they may try and catch here. Yeah. Going for the Trailblaze to take out, and then having a boosted wild charge to take out the Reggie. Heads up play, because yeah, they're basically their only like win con chance is catching that move on the Azumarill there. Okay, last battle. Dedenne lead. We've seen this. We can just wild charge our way, or sorry, Trailblaze our way through this. They're going straight for Pit Ball charge, assuming you're glassy enough that it will do 50%. But so does the Trailblaze. And opting to shield. Interesting. Playing it different than you did last time. Opting to shield this one up. Getting to the second Trailblaze, winning CMP. This will take them out. And then we'll see what they want to do here. They do shield. You can live one, so you don't need to burn the shield. And won't this time. And again, knowing that you're going to get to the Trailblaze here and win CMP. Why are you going wild charge? Watching for a catch? Okay, not a bad idea. I don't hate it. It did cost you there, because then you probably would have gotten to another one. But yeah, I don't hate it. It's just, for those of you who don't know what he just did there, it's basically, you know, the only reason that the Dedenne shields there, knowing, well, you have to assume that they're smart enough to understand the situation here. But if you understand the Dedenne, that the counts are the same and that you're going to lose CMP, there really is no point of shielding your Dedenne unless you're going to like maybe try and catch something, because otherwise you're just going to lose CMP anyways. You could, again, I always say take it to the 1 shield, because I think it's easier to play 1 shield matchups and bad matchups than 2 shields. But yeah, I don't mind that. The jealous, I also don't mind what you did there, chipping with the hydro cannon, because they're not gonna shield that, and allows you to basically put it in Sky Attack Dragon Breath range and put some pressure on them there. Now, unfortunately, because you didn't shield the first one, this is a much easier bait for them here. Oh, you have no shields, that's why. Never mind. I was about to say, much easier bait here, but you don't have shields, so it's just an easy takeout. And now Hydro is not enough, so this will not take them out. So maybe you should get in for it quicker. Well, I think you spam pretty quick. Again, maybe I was off on the shield scenario though. With the Altaria shield, I probably like that play, because you just like chip it with the Hydros, and then they don't know what the back Pokemon is, and then you can actually just put Dragon Breath Sky Attack pressure on. If you had a shield, unfortunately with no shields, allowing them to get energy, that means they could take out Altaria, which is basically what you needed to chip it quick enough. So if you made that instant swap here, 13 and 12 is 25. What is the Shadow Ball? Like 15 and 12. So you would have outpaced, and you would have to a second Sky Attack. So I think maybe that was probably your win con, but I think, yeah, I think you just need to see the shield scenario there. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. So I was looking earlier for submissions. I'm going through my early submissions. There's 2 other Great Leagues from earlier in the season. However, both of them did not give me access to their battles. So when you send me a link from Google Drive, you need to give me access, like give access to those who have the link. So both those did not. So I can't get the battles. I sent requests. So if they allow me to access those battles, I'll showcase them. If not, one of my teams is coming. I got up to 28, 25 with it. So that team will either be coming this afternoon or tomorrow. But yeah, 28, 25, Great League team coming from this time. That's mine, coming up soon. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.